Salam alaikum. Welcome to Catch Up Monday on Jasiri. We hope you're enjoying the holiday with family, friends, and foe.
And foe. That was not part of the script.
I had to say that.
Family, friends, and foe.
I really had to say that. Or, maybe a plate of jollof rice with Ileya meat or some deliciously spicy native dish. As you can see, Lolo has been carried away by the deliciously spicy native dish. She's missing in action. It's a blue Monday, guys. But before I get to carried away with the festivities, let's check in with the ladies. See how you're doing.
Wait, was there a memo?
I swear.
Was there a memo?
It's as if it was planned. In fact, Tab should have been in the middle.
This was my third outfit choice this morning after hissing again.
I didn't even check. I just closed my eyes and picked up.
No, seriously, do you plan? Is it that you just wake up and go to your wardrobe and pick something?
No, I tried to plan the night before because if I do it the morning of, that's 20 minutes. And
Yes.
that is a lot of unhappiness.
It doesn't work for me the morning of the. I have to sort it out a day before, a night before. And somehow it organizes me, but I don't know. There are people, I respect people who just walk to their wardrobes and just take something and throw on and go.
Yeah, so I used to plan, but when I started running out of clothes, I now started making it work. I was just, okay, what piece do I want to focus on today? And then I look for every other thing that can go
So
with
you
the
do
piece.
it that morning?
Yeah.
No.
That's why what Olive has been doing has been making sense. You know, she's on this color scheme thing.
Yeah.
So Monday through Friday, so for 1 week, she's wearing a color.
But is there somebody that has clothes that can wear the color? Olive, you don't go last 2 days.
Even with clothes, you have to plan. You just have to, otherwise, you just find yourself mixing and matching and wearing something that you'd worn for without thinking.
I don't know if this happens to you. Most times I plan something in my head, and then when I wear it, it's rubbish.
Wait, have you seen that meme about the dog that wears the blanket on his head? And it goes, when you planned an outfit in your head and it looks good, then you put it on and you look like a potato, and you have 5 minutes to leave the house. All I want to do is late. Like when the outfit does not give the way I had, envisioned, I feel like I can't use the word. What is this? The whole time you're telling me you're not ready yet. I'm like, how can I be ready? I want to be happy in what I wear. I want to be happy.
It's easy.
You see clothes and they're like, what? No, this is not.
And you
what
have
happened?
to be, ladies, I'm sure it must happen to a lot of women out there because when what you plan is not just happening, it's not coming together. For me, it throws me. I can be very frustrated, sit on the bed and just, if I had an option not to go to where I wanted to go.
Yeah, that's enough reason not to go for a hangout.
Yeah.
Because clothes should make you happy.
Yeah,
They really should. But Ileya was good. Yesterday was
And the weekend.
And the weekend, we celebrated our 11th.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to 11. It's happening. Listen.
Wow.
We must have them on a sit down to share trade secrets because nowadays when we see marriages that are dissolving in less than 2 years, 11 years is commendable.
Honestly, so before people would say that
Balogun,
you have to get to like 65 years of marriage, but these days
We even make it to 5. We celebrate.
honestly, it's not been so.
11.
11 years. So
God.
what would you say that, like off the top of your head, how did you guys make it work?
My family
Off the top of your head, like, I know it can't be easy, but at the same time, how do you...
Give us one secret.
And they say
There's no secrets, God. There's no secrets, and every marriage is different because the two people involved are always going to be different. But at the end of the day, you guys have to want the best for each other. You have to want the best for each other.
How do you know?
So
That's another jam question. How do you know this?
So as ambitious as I am, my husband is ambitious for me. So I'm ambitious for him. You have to want the best for as I'm thinking 11 years, but it doesn't even feel, I told him on Saturday, it doesn't feel like 11 years. And I think that's also the fun of it. I'm with somebody that does not make me feel the years.
Yeah.
A decade and one. Jesus.
A decade and one. What do you mean?
I can't even
This is the same human being. But I understand that there would be a growth
Always.
for the, there
Always.
would have to be a growth to make it, man, Jesus, the dynamic.
I think this thing she said, even in relationships these days, is lacking because everybody is entering into a relationship with selfish reasons. Oh, I need somebody that can be ambitious for me, but they're not looking out for the person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about you. You just look after my own interests. So talk about marriage. Come on, man.
Yes.
How was
Okay.
your weekend?
I don't want to talk because...
Is Momsy still around?
Yeah.
Is Asha now her grandchild?
Yeah.
That
She
was
was
fun.
worried that it wasn't eating. She was like, the food you gave him was not eating. Me, I had to go and make Indomie for him. I was now begging him to eat. And the dude is just playing to argue. He was just at work, they sniff the food and walk away. And she's like, see, he's not eating. I'm like, guy, leave it.
When he's hungry. In this economy, there's economy. When you're hungry, even when kids do that nowadays, oh, I want this, I want this. You know, you speak it in vernacular. Your vernacular, whether it's Yoruba, Igbo, is nobody will tell you. That is you're not hungry yet.
My friend.
When you are hungry, when I'm hungry.
But I must confess, I missed out on a hangout with the ladies. I know they're mad at me, so I'm outing myself.
We hung out on Friday.
I have a good enough reason.
I don't want to know your reason.
I don't care. Hello.
Do you care?
What will you say?
Do you care?
No, like
This life is just
happened?
a pot of beans.
What happened? It's Ileya, guys.
Yeah. Speaking of Ileya, there's a post I saw on Instagram, but not without telling Peculiar story. Guys, I did not see me to eat, but I don't feel bad. Peculiar was living with a goat by the side of her window for days.
Our producer.
Yes. And she was enduring because she didn't want to complain because so they don't say, oh, you complain so you won't get me. So she endured. And then she said, I think a day before, a night before he died, I think the goat knew he was going to die and then started screaming. And I'm sure in her mind she's like, I'm just not saying it because at least I must eat from you. And now she wakes up and she doesn't see any goat meat. We have gingered her to go there and say, I endured this, we are in this together.
So wait, they did not send goat meat?
No. She said she's going to say, perhaps you thought I'm not around.
She's giving an excuse for that. I'm sure you thought I wasn't around, but I'm back.
Because I really actually do feel sometimes I think animals get us. They have a
sense of.
They have a third sense. Everybody has it. You have that innate sense. I think they do somehow feel that, guys, these people are leading me to where I don't want to go.
They do.
I feel bad for them, but man must chop.
Man must shop, most definitely.
I would give anything to know what goes on through their minds.
I won't give anything. No.
I don't give anything.
I don't want to know because I will not eat meat again.
Oh.
Corday was there telling me she stood as they killed the ram, and that's been her thing for like the past 3 years. So she'll stay with the butcher. I'll be come back. No, she'll just be staying with the butcher. She's so sad.
Calm.
The animal is dead. Oh. I said, okay, but but are you going to eat the ram meat? I'm not sure. But are you going to eat the jollof rice? Yes. I said the animal died for it. We thank them for their sacrifice. That's it. My daughter had 5 plates of jollof yesterday.
You said what?
Shout out to Ya Sunday.
No, I didn't get it. Hold on.
Did you get it?
Have you seen Korede?
We were in Grandma's house.
I don't understand where the five plates went to where.
I don't know. I don't know where they went.
Okay, anyway, so back to the post I saw on Instagram that made me curious about the relevance of the ram for Ileya. And this post also led me to explore the significance of this sacred animal in the celebration. Let's take a look, because I'm not about to be selfish.
Okay.
So this one says, Justin, we need help. People are not buying Salah ram. Ram sellers cry out. Because, I mean, of course.
So yesterday when we were heading to my mother-in-law's place, there were places where you could see that maybe they had sold. And then there were places where you could see 10, 15 rams still there. As in, people were not buying. It's not that the ram is hungry. People too are hungry. People too had to choose between spending all this money on a one-day occasion. A lot of people who typically do like celebrations and they kill and people know, guy, we're coming to your side. What time do you people serve food? When's the food going to be ready? It was very quiet yesterday. And
is that not reflective of what's going on in the country?
Absolutely.
Even when I saw the rams coming in, because sometimes you on the roads, you see the big trucks trudging in the rams. And I asked myself, I mean, I actually asked how much one ram was, and someone told me 300 and something thousand.
And above, yeah, or less.
And above, or even less, but more above than less. And you look at the ram will not chop belly full because the ram is still not looking full and round. And so you can imagine, so how much would that real healthy ram cost? And then you're looking at people are saying, oh, I must buy it. Some come together and, okay, Blessings and I come together, bring your half, I bring my half, just so that there's... But the truth is that people were not going to... I'm not actually surprised about this. People are not going to buy it.
I mean, I did...
You don't pay your house rent finished, that you're paying, removing 300 and something to buy a ram.
But my thing is, must it be a ram, though? I heard someone say that you can actually use a goat.
Yes, it doesn't have to be ram if you cannot afford it. It doesn't have to be. But we do have a video about what some other people said they might decide to use for Salah. Let's see if we can take that.
She put it so tastefully.
200,000. 200,000, yeah. What 200,000? Me, they call boy because I'm a see, I'm a ratamara, good boy, attaching one. So, Mo dẹ̀ wá ń pe àwọn afá mi mo dẹ̀ ń béèrè torí mo rájà kan ládùúgbò pé ṣájà wọlé yá wọn lájà ò wọlé yá mo dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó yé àwọn afá mi wípé ọ̀daràn tó bá fẹ́ wọnú mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá kò ní fẹ́ wọ̀ ló kò ní fẹ́ wọ̀ náà lẹ́rọ̀ wọ́n máa fọ́ọ̀sì ẹ̀wọ̀ ni ó dàbí pé a máa fọ́ọ̀sì ajá wọlé yá this time around mo ti rájà 30,000 tó pè mí màá rà màá pàǹjọ lé yá kánà bí má bínú o bó ṣe gbà ni o bí ìlú ṣe gbà ni o.
ẹran ajá ò lè kọ tì mọ́ ilé mọ́ mù.
Mi ò ní kí màmú wa bá mi jẹ́ káwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi bá mi jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pa aṣọdún ajá la máa pa this time around.
Ajá.
Yes.
Fún léyá.
Iléyá ilé ṣíyá náà ni.
So for those of you who don't speak Yoruba, he basically said that the ram was too expensive to buy. That it's just you're going to kill it, eat it now, and it's going to be gone. That he called his alpha, that he had seen a dog in his neighborhood. That he called his alpha to say, is dog permissible to be used for Ileya? Alpha told him that no, dog is not permissible to be used. He now used and added something along the lines of, if we will make it fit, we will make it work.
We'll force it.
We will force it to work. And he said that the guy was asking him, but Ileya dog does not match. He said, is that how it's going to work? That he has seen one dog in his neighborhood, 30,000, that will kill it. That he's not asking his alpha to come and do the blessing and things and the prayers, anything. That's how he wants to do it. We will by force, by fire. I mean, the dog will enter Ileya.
No, seriously. How comfortable is it that people are eating dogs? Because I know for some people it's taboo.
Will he be willing to tell the people who come to celebrate with him that his dog meets their eating?
This my guy will not tell.
But then he also said something that is actually, I didn't even think of that. So we're talking about ram 300K and above. Yeah. We're not talking about the pepper that would use. We're not talking about the things that would, the rice.
This is just the protein itself, the ram itself.
And the moment you put up that canopy and you put those tables and chairs outside, you're feeding the neighborhood.
Then play music.
No, we did not do music yesterday.
On purpose.
On purpose. You have not. You met what you have not met his brother. Two of them. They're like.
but did you get meat though?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm not alone.
No, don't worry, ladies.
And really, you cannot really blame people. You know, if people don't give me, I know they quarrel again. If before you quarrel with your full chest, but now because we see how the economy is and how people are striving to survive, man.
See, if somebody did Ileya yesterday and they called you to come and eat, you really need to say thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe if your friendship was standing on like a K-leg, maybe we consider that friendship because it's only people that people really loved that they called yesterday. Let me tell you, because it's not kawaii at all. Now, one thing about Nigerians, we will always find a way to have fun, no matter what the economy says. Our festivities cannot be compromised, which is not entirely a bad thing because at the end of the day, happiness isn't about having a perfect life. It's about finding joy in the imperfect moments and being grateful for what we have. So let's go on this short break as you think about being grateful for Jasiri.
Welcome back, guys. We're streaming live on our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Please use the hashtag Jasiri to be a part of the conversation so that we know that you're watching. We'll catch up in a bit, and I just want to say that I'll take my agitation with my neighbors over this ram meat issue out of the studio. But in the meantime, let's tell you what went down during the weekend. Our first story is about the ongoing cholera outbreak, the scary cholera outbreak, which has recorded over 1,141 cases and 30 deaths reported nationwide in the first 6 months of 2024. Now, Lagos, the commercial hub of Nigeria, has also confirmed 17 cases and 15 deaths due to this disease. The chief of UNICEF Lagos Field Office, Celine Lafourcade, has said the outbreak is exacerbated by poor sanitation and hygiene practices, particularly in underserved communities where the residents often use canals and lagoons as toilet. Now, she also went further to raise concerns that festivities could potentially worsen the outbreak as the outbreak has spread to 30 states across the country. That's the graphics there.
The graphics there just show you the stark reality of it. But as we were going on the break, I was laughing. I said, this Ileya that we're all happy and everything. I hope the people who made the Ileya meat, who cooked, who cleaned and everything, one, they're very clean themselves. You had clean potable water sources. And you know, Ileya cooking takes a lot of water. A lot. So she has a very valid point, and I hope we don't see a spike coming from the festivities of the weekend.
True. Because we're not thinking about that, in all honesty. I mean, I was in some areas yesterday and I saw the way they were gingering for the festivities and for the party, for the groove, for that groove. And then you're killing these animals and you need a lot of water. And we have a way of just managing. managing and taking water from whether it's clean or you just say for that moment, if you're just washing the animal that's been slain, you don't care whether that water, the first water can be anyhow water, and then subsequently I don't think we know we're taking this thing seriously. And I don't think we understand the reality. That you know how we say it's not my portion, it's not my portion. And we hide behind that. In as much as you say, I don't want to confess negative, because I hear that all the time. I've heard people say, oh, I'm strong when you are ill.
When you're ill.
And, you know, that thing gets me, but, you know, that's an aside. But I'm saying that cholera is a reality, a stark, naked reality. Yeah, someone say, they would say when we're younger, you have cholera jabs. When the kids do that, HPV,
all
measles,
MMR,
So you say, okay, there's the cholera vaccine. Oh, if you're vaccinated for cholera, if you're something.
Yeah, I think there is.
In the likes of the mumps, whatever, and rubella, MMR, and there was HPV, and when you have kids growing up at certain, so you have those dosages that they take at certain ages in their lives. But this is a stark reality. And Lagos, I'm sorry, is not the cleanest of states. Lagos is filthy. Let's call it what it is.
So imagine, so in this year alone, for 2024, there are only 10 states that are contributing 90% of the burden. Bayelsa, Delta, Zamfara, Katsina, Abia, Imo, Cross River, Nasarawa, Bauchi, and Lagos. But there's something else I want to point out, because when we look at this, it seems like there's a cyclical nature to, is it cyclical or cyclical? There's a round way nature where we see these things. But when you look at global cholera outbreaks, ladies, let me tell you the countries that Nigeria is in company of. Since the 1st of April 2024, and as of the 3rd of April 2024, there have been 52,526 new cholera cases globally, and about 529 deaths reported worldwide. The 5 countries reporting the most cases: Syria, war-torn. Afghanistan, war-torn.
Yeah.
Ethiopia, civil war. Yemen, war-torn. Haiti. There are many words to describe what's happening in Haiti right now. Nigeria should not be listed among countries like this for a global cholera outbreak. These are countries that, for all intents and purposes, all structures of government and any other thing like that have broken down.
Yeah, and I think that mostly because of the IDP camp situation and all that, I'm not saying it's excused, but I think we can say that contributes heavily to it. But what is
No, look at the states, all those states. How many IDP camps are in those states? Cross River with
No,
IDP
I'm even saying like the countries.
Okay.
Yeah, so that like, why is Nigeria there?
So what would we say is a problem? Are we negligent? Are we not taking it seriously, or we're just plain lazy?
I think
Look at the
it's
stats.
a lot of things.
2
With
years ago
Lagos
and
State,
last year.
we're not able to keep up with the construction needs. People are building ahead of the state's ability to put in the normal resources, to put in pipes for water, to put in the roads. Even the pipes for water, some of the ones that are in existence now are old. You can ask many people, when's the last time they even got water from Lagos State? So we're drilling boreholes. People are drilling boreholes indiscriminately because the state is not providing. The state is not providing because the state cannot keep up with the demand. So there's just so many. Then you have gutters everywhere that are not clean. But gutters are not meant to be clean. They're meant to sweep. We have a toilet issue. People are still doing whatever they want to do off many, many bridges across Lagos State. How are we not going to come back and get bitten in the proverbial
And then most of the gutters are clogged. Yes, we get that it's meant to, but then a lot of times you see them in
stagnant.
And then people are not even helping, building houses around those places. And those places are the places that you have the most delicious food. So
and people will tell you that I don't mind it.
Someone has even said
over the gutter.
Someone has said the dirtier the place, the sweeter the food.
God damn it.
That's why we're battling this issue.
Oh my Lord.
Every year, 2022, 2023,
84 deaths were reported.
It's like, what's that disease by the rats?
Ebola.
No, not Ebola. The one that happens in when it gets hot. I can't remember. There's this rat disease that we always have to deal with as well.
Lassa fever.
It's just every year. Every year. What are we not doing? So where's the education as well? So if government is not doing enough to and think about it, we've had 17 confirmed cases, 15. So only 2 people out of the confirmed cases basically right now are still alive, as we know it as of now.
And
that says a lot.
People don't understand cholera when it starts.
It takes lives within days. Like your bowel is filled with water and you die of dehydration.
You just keep going.
So I
Keep
think at this
going.
point, the state government needs to be doing a lot in terms of reconnaissance, but also this is the time for us to bring back the town crier. You need to be going to markets and shouting the symptoms that people need to be looking out for. If we're saying it's too difficult at this point in time to adjust and deal with the sanitation issues, that's going to take a longer time. It's longer efforts. What's the shortest thing to do? PSAs, town criers, people in the village, talk to the village women, talk to the village men, go into schools, share the symptoms and share where they can go. Go immediately to your primary healthcare center, to your local government hospital, because right now we are in a race against time.
I swear, and saying that, oh, it's not my portion. I mean, look at the data.
That's not preventive medicine.
350 suspected cases of cholera reported in 29 wards across multiple local government areas here in Lagos. 17 confirmed cases, 15 fatalities. Now, in the past 6 months to now, there have been over 1,100. Guys, it's growing. You know, when we say it's not my portion, that thing.
It seems to get under your skin.
Yes, it's not my portion. Don't mean that. Okay, it's not my portion. Motor is coming to jam you. You say it's not my portion that the motor will jam you, and you are standing there, make the motor jam you.
So I really think that everyone needs to. Everyone needs to take precautionary measures because, I mean, we cannot entirely depend on the government. Yes, we understand that the management of it and all that is not solely dependent on the government. The government plays a part, but we also play a part. We have to be responsible for the kind of things we eat, and to be honest, yes, it's okay to eat out, but these days you need to monitor at least what you're eating, where you're eating from, because most times we see these situations, and it's like we have a fire brigade approach.
Yes.
So there's usually a spike. We enjoy seeing the numbers. The numbers keep growing and growing, and nothing is done about it. So it's your responsibility.
And that water thing.
I'm thinking
more and more about this water thing. Do you know? So there's so many people who are surviving on pure water. Where is that pure water coming from?
Exactly.
Like, you know, sometimes we see the videos on social media as to where people are producing this pure water.
But let's be honest, even bottled water.
Even bottled
because
water,
some
even
people
though
think
dispenser
bottled water
water
is cleaner than pure water. Pure water that is done in a well-sanitary place is cleaner than the average bottled water. So don't think that, I only take bottled water.
There's another thing, guys. I hope many of you know that you're supposed to clean your dispenser like twice a year.
Yeah.
Tell Nigeria.
You need to flush your dispenser. If you have a dispenser at home, please take it as a PSA from me. This week, find a way to call somebody, maintain it, and flush your dispenser.
Yeah.
How many people even remove that thing and wash the tray where I want every week without I don't play.
I think it's when you go there, probably as you're filling the bottle.
Hey, let me see spirulina.
Or water has poured, and then it just occurred to you that okay, and then you clean.
And then the water is slimy to these.
No, it's okay.
and this is.
I have poured a whole dispenser bottle in cleaning the. You know how you clean?
Yeah, because you have to flush it.
Nah, man, because when you think of maybe those trays, when you think of what you've seen there, or the little fridges under that
we don't even open them.
No, people forget that, and then when you open and you see, you now say, today is that day. Today,
you have got a screen.
Listen, whoa, hey, you bleach. Everything bleach.
It's all right. Honestly, this thing is scary because it's water. Like everything circles around water.
Absolutely.
Right? And most people, so it's like we have two kinds of Nigerians. The ones who get really meticulous when they hear news like this, so they're like, oh, where's this food for? But there are some that once they're seeing the news, this thing is serious. So and then they go on to the next Mama Put and
like
then just.
I'm telling you, like, it doesn't concern them.
I'm not saying don't buy food from Mama Put, but at least be careful. If not for anything, look out for yourself. You know, if you don't spread it, at least it reduces the chance of it spreading.
Wow.
I tell you, they have natural
immunity.
Don't be deceived by that thing that happened with coronavirus.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
You know, since coronavirus, Nigerians have believed that we have a stronger immune system. I don't know the scientific fact about it. It may be true, but this is not coronavirus, so
it's not. It's not. All right, let's go to the next story. We'll take a break soon, but let's lay out the foundation for this story. So our next catch-up is on the ban against sachet alcoholic beverages. So the House of Representatives and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, have resolved to lift the ban on the sales and consumption of sachet alcoholic beverages in the country. The ban was initially imposed due to a concern over drug abuse, especially among young Nigerians. It targeted the distilleries producing liquor and gin in small, affordable sachets. But the impact extended beyond the targeted companies. Distributors, retailers, and other businesses reliant on sachet alcohol product sales also face significant income losses, potentially leading to further job cuts. Now, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria estimated that over over 500,000. Over 500,000 jobs could be lost, exacerbating an already dire unemployment situation in the country. However, the ban has been deemed untimely and unrealistic given the current economic situation and the need for manufacturers to phase out the production of such beverages.
Okay.
What did I say?
Yeah.
When they announced. Yep. This is third time.
I just didn't want to interrupt you when you started
I'm a
talking
prophet,
about this.
prophetess.
You are a prophetess. That's it. Tolu calls it, and it bees.
But I think my thing is, what were they thinking banning the sachet? There are small ones that are affordable.
When Tolu was
Do you know
going
how many
through,
people drink that thing and still get drunk?
Yeah.
Even that small.
Yeah, so if you're banning it because of the affordability of it, there are smaller bottles that are affordable. So why not just
If you're banning
It's
it
not
for
the
the abuse even, when Tolu was taking us through that story, what was going on through my mind was that, okay, so have you done your findings to come to the understanding and the conclusion that it's no longer harmful and you can let it get back into circulation and people can just be feeling cool with themselves? Because sometimes, yeah, we understand that everyone's chosen beverage is not the same, and some people consume it for different purposes. Okay, now you have said we lift the ban. What are you lifting the ban for? Are you lifting the ban because it's the money you're losing from the ban? Are we looking at it because you want to be profitable, or you're looking at it because of the economic addition to the economic purse? Are you looking at it because it's like maybe people have come behind you and told you, brother and sister, have fun, nah? Let my people go.
Is that my people? It's the economy.
So you're really, so you're letting this go. It doesn't. I still tell you that drug abuse is a fact. It's
Alcohol
a reality.
abuse. Do you know how many Nigerians are alcoholics?
Yeah, alcohol abuse, because people just want to run away from the present reality.
We don't recognize alcoholism in this society.
There's some people who wake up and go to that sachet like they're going for their morning coffee.
They
and
use it to brush
what
their
people
teeth.
don't
It's like
understand
what you're
is
talking
the
about.
cheaper it is, the more people are prone to buy.
And they're happy.
It's
You see, they
affordable, so
tell you
they're buying more.
that they're happy when they get it. Everything for them is okay. It gives them a better, like it.
So the scary thing is now they're letting this thing go because of the impact it's going to have on the economy. They said about over 500,000 jobs will be lost. So what does that say about our, would I say society, the ethics or moral of our society? So they're not saying that it has less impact, right? They've said it, they've put it out there that the impact is there, but because of the economy, we're going to allow it to come back.
So let's take a break, because this has now become a conversation between striking the balance for public health and also the economic stability and conversation. So we'll pick up on that part of the conversation after this. The reps and, of course, the NAFDAC have said that they're lifting a ban on sachet alcohols. The conversation continues after this. So our second catch-up Monday story is on NAFDAC and the House of Representatives agreeing to lift a ban on sachet alcohol. Now, before the break, we were talking about the need to strike a balance, because that's what it's been. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria said that possibly 500,000 jobs could be lost, and that's because of the direct and indirect impact of the ban. But beyond that, where's the public health concern now? If you're saying we're lifting this ban, where and how do we strike a balance between public health concerns and economic stability? And so in hearing that they're lifting the ban, I was expecting to hear an action plan. So even the first time they announced the ban, it was obvious that this is not something that could have taken effect as the way they were saying immediately. We need to work, government needs to work, government at all levels needs to work on when it communicates something, because we have this situation where they'll say one thing today, 5 days down the line, 2 weeks down the line, they'll reverse it and say, oh, sorry, now with better information, that's not the decision or the direction we want to take. Can you imagine having a parent who's constantly wishy-washy and flip-flopping?
You won't even take them seriously.
You won't take them seriously. You won't respect anything that comes out of their mouths.
The communication lines are very poor, actually. In fact, if existent at all. The federal government does something at that level and they expect everything to take, but everything works. There are processes to these. Absolutely. If you come up with a plan and say, okay, we have a rollout plan, we have a plan in phases, this is what we're going to do, this is how we are going to do this, then it's fine. It's easy to believe you guys. But now, Nigeria has become a country ruled by our leaders where Nigerians just say that, okay, you say, oh, federal government plans, Oh yeah, now we
We
hear.
will wait for you.
So this is
We
the
hear.
same thing we were talking about the other day. This is a problem I have with people or people in government who want to seem as though they're working.
Yeah.
They just want to put out things like as you're thinking it, you are sponsoring the bill, you are making everybody know
You've
about
not
it.
really
Then
thought about
you will now eventually sit down and start thinking about the feasibility. Is this even possible? Nah, this is a joke. Let's recall. And then you make us feel stupid. Because, okay, you've said this, we've heard you. Even we are saying it's not possible. Like, you can't just do, like, I'm an average citizen, but I know that this doesn't make sense. There are processes to this. But you are not thinking it because everybody wants to sponsor a bill. Everybody wants to act like they're working. I want to show that you're working. So you just put out, if you take time to look at it, you see that about maybe 10 bills go out 1 year, 9 is recalled, and maybe 1 is just
Or it's
dancing
table
there.
somewhere. We have to go back to the table.
Drawing board.
Drawing board. So I want to come back to this. So again, as I hear them saying, okay, we're taking the economic situation into consideration, I want to hear about stricter regulations.
Yes.
I want to hear about increased enforcement. This thing can only be sold in specific places.
Yeah.
They specifically said it needs to be kicked out of bus parks. Why is a bus driver taking this, and they can take 4 or 5
And
at
they're
a time.
hitting the road, yes.
Then public awareness campaigns.
yeah.
When I was growing up, there was a Just Say No campaign for kids in the US about drugs. It was widespread in the late 80s into the early 90s. Does Nigeria have an effective anti-drug campaign that is spread out across all schools, part of school curricula? We're talking about it at this level, but what about the level where we need to get to the kids before they pick up the alcohol? We need to get to the adults who are sending them to go and buy it.
Yeah.
You're sending them to go and buy alcohol.
Yeah.
You're sending them to go and buy cigarettes.
And you're
Do you
telling
think
these kids under 10 and-
I was a child before.
Yeah.
I know what I did, you
Yeah.
know? So you should have talked about stricter regulations, increased enforcement, public awareness campaigns, even targeted interventions. So if you're saying you're lifting the ban because you want to preserve some 500,000 jobs, the public safety concerns, what are you doing in regards to that pending the time
Yeah.
you maybe go ahead with the full phase out?
Yeah.
It
Well-
sounds fantastic when Tolu says it like this, and they say, yeah, but actually, can we just, and it's not that difficult. You don't need a lot of, everybody's always thinking, oh, we need money, we need resources, we need this, we need that. You don't need a lot.
Yeah, I actually agree to what she's saying, because especially this part of the world, we are not very prepared for the aftermath of alcohol abuse. I'm talking about therapy, rehab. We don't have all of that.
we just feel
so
as
why
if
not
we will be
focus
okay
on
last.
preventing it? And we are known for medicine after death. So it's like you allow this thing to start, and then there's no way to manage it when it gets there, because children are getting exposed to these things every day. We don't have how many rehab centers? I've never.
We
heard
have,
of.
but they're not a lot
Yeah,
at all.
and
And,
they're
a lot
not
of them are
really
private,
viable.
and so
Uh-huh.
people cannot afford them.
So let's focus on preventing it.
So we talk about drug. Do you know how many kids are addicted to gambling now?
Are you joking? You just need to, you see, when you send kids to buy these sachet stuff that you send kids to, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7, all the way.
Just go and buy a kidney from
Do you
And
understand?
the funny thing is,
walk
some of
the
them will
streets
say-
and see where they are betting, and they stand and they observe.
Size the betting. Some of them even say, "Don't drink it, oh, don't drink it." As a child, I don't know if that happens to
From
you.
the moment
when they
they
tell
say
me
don't
not to do
drink it,
something,
that
is
they
what I
do.
want.
Yeah.
Many of the people I know that are battling alcohol, like, that's how it started. Like, I want to see what my uncle is drinking.
Why
That
he's
he's saying I
always so-
should not drink.
And then you're the one telling them to clean up the bottles, and guess what they do with the bottles as they're cleaning up? We're not honest. I think that's it. We're not honest with ourselves as a people. And yes, we understand where some of the abuse comes from. Society is hard. People are using these things as coping mechanisms.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
know that.
underlying layers to all of it. But we hope that there's a plan in place. It's not just lifting the ban. We hope to hear plans and actions that will be taken pending the time when maybe a full phase out will be done. Kat, you have our next story.
Yeah. All right. So our next story brings to the limelight the managing director of Fuani Company, representing LG and Hisense. 3 Lebanese nationals were abducted by armed men on June the 14th. That's on Friday here in Lagos. The victims were kidnapped near Falamo Bridge while traveling by boat from Apapa to Victoria Island. The kidnappers are demanding a ransom of $1.5 million. As you can see, that's the Fuani MDO, those people there, like I said, and 3 others abducted. So for this to happen, I want to believe
This is an inside job.
that's it. Because I want to
It's
believe
an inside job.
Bam. I want to
That's what I believe.
Apart from
let me take them. In my opinion, this is an inside job.
apart from moving safe and talking kidnappings on the rise in Lagos, you see this, I'm agreeing with Tolu, because they probably have established a routine of weekending on the beach, taking a boat at certain times and going from one place to another, and maybe someone that said as able to enjoy life while we are struggling, and maybe disgruntlements. You're not treating your staff well. It could be anything. It's an inside job.
So they were apparently ambushed. They were apparently ambushed by the Falama Bridge, near the Falama Bridge, while traveling by boats from Apapa to Victoria Island. So it was Mohammed Fouani and 3 other Lebanese nationals as well. And I'm just thinking to myself, how do you know he's passing there? This is also a man in Nigeria who moves around with armed escorts to a certain level.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels too
convenient.
There are certain people that access to them and information about their whereabouts is not open knowledge. Yes, it's possible that maybe every Friday somebody knows he leaves at 4 o'clock from Apapa. It's someone that said something somewhere.
But it's no news that some of these kidnappers are sponsored by insiders. It's no news. Except we want to lie to ourselves. I mean, there was a time that there was a whole propaganda about, certain people in power sponsoring some of these things for different reasons, not even just for financial. Because when I even heard 1.5 million, I'm like, kidnappers don't.
Hello. You did not finish it. You did not say the 1.5 million in which currency.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dollars. Kidnappers have traveled out to go and school.
Why are you so quiet? $1.5 million.
They're so. It used to be naira.
Okay, so it used to be there.
1.5 million.
So when I heard it, I'm like,
when you do your voice in a certain way, I should prepare my mind that you are ready to drop something. Because there was I looking at you like she's gonna say something really heavy. No, like to say that kidnappers have traveled.
They used the waterways. They found the boats in Ikorodu. Do you know how fast you can move on water?
Yeah.
And from that place, do you know you could actually enter Benin Republic?
And like, they're getting more ingenious.
So they probably moved them to another boat, and then for all we know, they even separated them. That's another strategy. Sometimes you don't keep everybody together; you separate.
Well, let's also be honest, right? We do not exactly Yes, I know that they move around with convoy and all that, but in certain instances, we do not exactly prioritize security, especially when it comes to outsiders. Nigerians are people that are excited when they see Oyibo people,
but outsiders also may think, oh, I don't need it, even if they wanna. Oh no,
I've been to events, right? I've been to parties, events where I see people outside Nigeria because they see Nigeria as a tourist station, so to say. Like, they want to explore everything. The Lagos nightlife, they want to be there. They don't move around. So during the day, they might be very conservative. They might have their security and all. But at night, they want to let loose. And then somebody is just there, trailing you. So at the end of the day, it might actually not even be anybody, but just saw Igbo people and they're like, oh, more. Something would drop.
Anyhow, so 1.5 million, who are they asking? Are they asking the Fouani company, or they're asking how do they contact the family?
So we don't know, but I would assume it's probably the company. And then the thing is, you just think about it. So somebody like a Mohammed Fouani in Lagos, yes, we know there's been one chance that's on the road. I know Bagada Express was one of the places I was really focused on recently. But someone like, it strikes a lot of people that someone like a Mohammed Fouani in Lagos, in Ikoyi, around Falo. These are well-known highbrow areas. If you go, you can probably see a police vehicle station maybe every 3 or 4 kilometers. And so it's just the fact that it's waterways again. And with Lagos, I believe at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, the waterways are supposed to be closed. You're not supposed to be on the waterways. I'm not sure if it's 5, 6, or 7. They might have changed it.
But also...
But I don't know what time it happened. I'm not sure about the time this happened.
Also, that it's possible that they can also bend the rules for some special VIPs that we have a tendency to do that.
But if you're an investor, you want to bring in money to a country and you hear that a Mohammed Fouani was kidnapped, what does that do for you? So countries have insurance premiums for expatriates. Nigeria is a country that has a high security premium on its head, insurance premium. So if you're an expat for certain companies and you want to come and work in Nigeria, there's a certain amount of insurance.
That is more than the usual.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of insurance.
It's a hike.
Yes. There's a certain amount of insurance sort of built into your contract for you to come, depending on certain levels and certain companies, for you to come and work in Nigeria. Nigeria has one of the highest security risk insurance premiums. Think about it. We are a security risk.
But our kidnappers not a thing go far now.
Who is our?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm just, so could these be international kidnappers, or could this be that the kidnappers have that crossed the waters to, since our water seems to be merging into
it's local kidnappers for international clients.
Voila. So local kidnappers, would they be privy to the info that our premium.
Stay here. They are taking masterclass. You are still.
It's all right. Ladies, we'll continue to follow this. The police say they are investigating. What the news is saying it's a $1.5 million ransom. We don't know if it's for all of them. Stop it. Don't do that to me right now. We don't know if that's for everybody, just only for Mohammed Fouani. A lot of this is very much being kept secret, which is understandable as they attempt. But it's very, very imperative that security agencies rescue him, but rescue everybody, not just him. Rescue anyone who has been kidnapped in Nigeria. It should not just be by connections and how elite or rich you are. Let's remember everybody and families who have people in kidnappers' den, and we hope that the security agencies do their job and get to them. All right, so we cannot end today's show without celebrating our fathers. Yesterday was Father's Day. Ladies, can we raise our moms to our fathers, to the stepfathers, the uncles, the brothers, the friends,
the mothers stepping in as fathers.
We'll talk about that. Who have been our rock, our guiding lights, and our heroes, and many who have stepped into shoes that were not theirs. We want to say a very big, big happy Father's Day.
And to fathers who have been pillars of strength and love that holds a family together, to present and intentional fathers who stick around and rise to the occasion time and time again.
And also to men who have stood in the gap as fathers, leaders, role models, coaches, mentors, and of course, clergy.
Happy Father's Day to you all.
Thank you
so much. Awesome. Okay, so before we wrap the show, so much depressing news, unfortunately. But let's use Father's Day celebration to lighten the mood. I'd like to talk about moments that have stood out for us about our fathers showing love. You know, we talked about it last week. African parents struggling to, you know, say I love you. People are probably fought. They come into your room, show the journey. Are you not hungry? My mom will call me my Roriki, Ayoka. I'm like, so you'll know that you did something. But in all honesty, let's talk about it. So, did your dad ever say I love you growing up?
I don't know.
My dad the man is easy, man. My dad is easy. He's not and he doesn't know how to quarrel. Even when he's letting you know he's not happy with something, you know, you have to take what I'm saying seriously, Catherine. Huh? And I'm not saying this because I'm saying this because I want what is good, because English is not my father's first language. So, you know, when he struggles, so he speaks with the lilt, with the accent, with the French accent and the lilt, and he just doesn't know. And I think because I also know, because I'm the only girl, so he has a soft spot for me, which I don't abuse. I know I don't abuse it. So when he says, he tells you, I love you, here, I said, I said, I mean it. I said, I hear you now.
Why are you forming our guy for Ghana?
I said, Daddy, I love you too. So when I call him, I call him for Father's Day. My father first laughs. My father is a laugher. He just laughs. Catherine, oh my God. Oh, Catherine. I'm like, whoa, Daddy, I call it to me. Oh, Catherine. It just keeps going, oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Catherine. So my father is a lover. My dad is soft.
And then you are like this. I'll leave that. And then you're like this. Blessings.
I think for me, so I don't remember whether or not my father ever said it. I lost him when I was really young. My brother, on the other hand, the first ever time he told me he was proud of me, I think he went.
Say I love you.
No. For what? No? For why? For what? I think he wasn't even on social media. I posted something, and then, you know, he was about to repost, and he said, "I'll probably brush my teeth after this, but I'm proud of you." What do I make?
Why
of
do you
that?
need to add the
What,
first part?
what do I make of that?
The AKA that interprets Solo, and I can clearly tell you that he's proud of you. He loves you.
Yeah.
He doesn't joke with you. That is just the way it is with our men.
That is it. That is it.
And honestly.
Reverend Doctor, I think I'm the last one of 4. And out of 4, we're now remaining 2. Jesus. So my parents are very keen right now. You know, you don't call. You have not called us. You know, Kilode, want to hear from you. And the guilt, I can tell you, because we are running through this Lagos up and down.
I swear.
But when I call them, there's nothing. My father's voice takes me back to being a child, someone sitting on his lap. And when we go to Bomasho and I see Korede interacting with my dad, I'm like, that thing about grandparents being able to relive their parenthood with their children, it is so.
And they do it better.
It's so true.
Why they're nicer? Because they're not the ones raising you. Now they get to enjoy the child.
You know, I never understood that thing, that you don't, until you become a parent, you don't know how hard it is to be parenting. Because in you also finding your whatever to be baby girl, you understand? You say, let the world not pass you by.
Yeah.
How you trying to still hold on to your chicness, you still have kids, you say, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I don't know how our mothers did it. It's a lot of work. So in doing that, it's easy to forget the little things. But as you become a grandparent, or as you become now looking after, I think the things that you remember that you didn't do is what you're now overcompensating
with the child.
with the child. And that's why children enjoy their grandparents. And that's how it's supposed to be.
That
Children
is how
are
it's supposed to be.
enjoy. Although I'm sure they say, no, I don't want to go to grandma's. I don't
no.
Because they would want to make you work. I remember my late grandmother, when she comes to the house, because we had a small farm, when she came to the house to knock on the door, is any of you at home? Because she would want us to come out and work on the farm. Come and weed, come and use the hoe. No,
And that's probably her saying, spend time with me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my mother-in-law is here telling Korede, you've done something. You know I can't beg your mother. You know your mother is hard, bro. Korede, don't that's her ride or die, you know? Korede, you know your mommy. Your mommy is looking at her. So I also say this. My dad, I won't lie, I was a hard child. I was the last born. Then I was the one raised outside of the country. So they had to adjust how they were raising me versus how they raised my sisters.
Yeah.
So I know I disappointed my father a few times, but I knew his love was unconditional. And fathers are the ones who push you the most.
Yes.
Man,
Yes, so.
he pushed. And then I think one of the brightest points in his life was when I brought home Rotimi. The man was so happy. Because I think he was one I was not going to get married, which really I was not going to. But let me ask, the legacy, and I think that's important because fathers are so important. They help with children's emotional development, maturity. I think one of the things confidence.
Yeah.
Fathers don't realize you're establishing how your children will have relationships, be it with lovers, friends, business people. They're watching
Everything.
So the legacy your father leaves you.
Oh, wow. I think he himself doesn't realize, how much it's impacted us. My father is probably one of the kindest. Yeah, he can be petty, oh. My father can be petty. What was the yeah for?
Because you remember the pettiness.
I remember this. My father can be petty. But I've never seen a man so kind. Kind. And he teaches you that even when you don't want to hear it, he tells you cannot lose with kindness. You can't. So there's some nuggets. There's so many things he's taught me along the way. And there's so many things in the way I deal with issues now that are reflective of him.
Yes.
If it were my mother, I'd be on the road fighting every day. My mother, you see her coming, you say, your mother, say, Kathy, your mother is stubborn. I say,
My mother had a nickname, Hurricane Debbie.
Your mom. Mommy.
Oh, wow.
Iyadeleru. Oh my God.
Chuchuki.
We're not here. Leave my wife from me. It's okay.
I think there always has to be somebody that is like that.
Yes,
one of the people like that. That was
yes.
my mother. My father. So most of the lessons I learned in life, and the children enjoy my father. Hey God, when I hear them talking, my father sits down to explain to them what led to what. He would take them outside. This plant, this is what happens to make it grow.
The patience you
Listen! I come and peep at the window like, what the heck is going on there? They are having convos right from when the kids were young. They would, and he has a tone that would make the children look up to him and listen. And I really, okay, so Grandpa, does it mean that if this were that, because my son is so curious, Grandpa, does that then mean that if this happens, that will happen? He will laugh, oh yes. Yes.
Blessings.
So I think for me, the beautiful thing is I got to learn more about my dad from the words of a lot of other people.
Yes.
And that on its own is a legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could literally go somewhere and someone like, wait, you're Festus's daughter? I'm like, yes. You're his only daughter? I'm like, yes. Oh my God, that man was so kind. My first job was because of my father's kindness. It's such a beautiful thing to hear how kind your father is. And I like that it kind of superimposes that idea in my mind that I want to do that as well. I want people to speak well of me. I don't just want someone to say, oh yeah, she lived. Oh, she was good at what she... No, I want to impact someone's life, no matter how little it is. So I think that's one thing I learned from him by proxy. My mom's own, I think my dad too also had a punctuality. Like they were the couple that always got there before anybody else, you know. My dad was always with the key to everywhere. Yeah, because they know that he would always be like, he's not the janitor, he's not, but he's holding the key because he's there. There was a time my mom said that the pastor looked at both of them and said, one day I'll come to church before you. And he's the pastor of a church. So yeah, I think that's one thing that I learned.
So I think I have that too, especially among Baptist people. Yeah. So I can go somewhere and say, you're Reverend Dr. Adela's daughter, and I'm like, yes, I am, you know. And there's a pride in bearing that name, you know, and I'm very prideful of that. Yeah. My shoulders are like this, you know. But also, I think my father's legacy is in treating people respectfully. That's something I took very much from him. Then if you're arguing, you go and tell my father one side of the story, you will wait too. That second person, you go and call them. Say the same thing in front of them. Because that thing about, so he's always been in a mediator role again as his position as a reverend, especially for families, marriages. So we learned that about from him a lot. Say it in front of the person the same way you said it to me. We can only get some help and resolution when you're both transparent and honest. So in dealing with people and dealing with family and in-laws, man, Reverend Doctor, I hail. So, you know, I can't, I wouldn't be the person, the woman, the wife, the professional I am if it wasn't for my father. And both of them, you know, but they both did different things and brought about different parts of my personality. And so very much, we have to once again say a very big salute to all the fathers out there, the grandfathers, the fathers, the stepfathers, the uncles, the brothers, anyone who has stepped into the role of being a father for a child out there. We see you, we salute you, and we believe that your sacrifices will always tell in the legacy that you live.
And on that note, we leave you in good hands. Remember, the sweetest or the greatest sacrifice is the one made with love, compassion, and kindness. We're going to leave you now. Hope you enjoyed the Ileya meat we grilled today. From me and the ladies, we're out of here.
Bye-bye. Bye. On a blue day.
Yes, on a blue day. On a blue day.